about you. Drive through the night, I got nothing to lose. Strobe city lights, they can tell me the truth. Tell me what I should do, I got nothing to lose. I got nothing to lose, thinking about you. Drive through the night, I got nothing to lose. Strobe city lights, they can tell me the truth. Tell me what I should do, I got nothing to lose. I sit in my
Number 2, second win of the season as well. Pacey Wygent rolling off turn 4. Pacey Wygent, third career Di9 Designs NAOR Series win. A little bit swirly there. He's going to be all right. Kreider moving to the outside. Andrew Chapman coming. They're wrecking in the back. Hard hit for a couple of these drivers. Enriquez moves in front of Chapman. It's going to be a drag race to the line. They're 3 wide. Make that almost 4 wide. Chapman, Wygent. It's going to be Andrew Chapman with the win here at Talladega. Live here from Avondale, Arizona. This is the Di9 Designs NAOR Series coming at you from Phoenix Raceway. Live here on JCTV. Goodness, it's been a minute since I've done that intro. Almost stumbled over my words, but I'm Josh Coppernall. I'm looking forward to this one. I'll tell you, I really, really love this track. Gen 6 cars. These one of my favorite car track combos out there. But you know what? Before we get into more about how much I love this, let me introduce my co-commentator, Jonathan Canfield. How are you doing?
Josh, I am doing great. I'm happy to be back here on JCTV. It's been a minute for me as well, not only with this series, just in general. As many of you might know, I stepped over this season with the ITPN in the Pit News Truck Series. I joined up with Josh for no real other reason other than we just wound up getting enough people to really cover the booth, and I felt like, you know, Josh met me as a racer. I've always been a racer. I will always be a racer before a commentator, and I jumped over there. And the Thursday night leagues, we had them, and I don't know what to tell anybody about those right now. I haven't heard anything. Don't know what plans the SAC racing group has for us or for their own seasons, but yeah, back here NAOR, ready. Phoenix. Good track. for poor Jonathan Parker, it's another short track. I hope we don't see a repeat of the last one I seen him at.
So, you brought up the SAAC Coast to Coast Cup Series. Currently, what's going on with that series, any of our viewers out there that pay attention to that one, they are in their off season, and they are doing a for fun IndyCar season, or Delora IR18 season, in their little off season before their actual season 1 of the Coast to Coast Cup Series will start. We are going to be there for season 1. Not doing their little off-season thing because legally we're not allowed to. So that's what's going on there. But our slide job just started back up. Actually, their first points bank race of the season is our iRacing Di9 250. Which will be this upcoming Tuesday. This past Tuesday we had the duels at Daytona. Set the starting lineup for the iRacing Di9 250. But Di9 Designs NAOR series back. A couple week break. Finally back. And say these drivers, they're hungry. They want to get back out here and compete with each other and try to stop that number 92, Jonathan Parker.
He's certainly been one of the guys to take notice of this season, but let's not forget the other guy that is going to be put on notice this race and every race we go to. Pacey Wygant seemed to have kind of just strung together good runs, but shown great speed at most any track we go to. And Josh, you and I already know how he is on these shorter, flatter tracks. He's very well versed in these kind of tracks, and he's been the number 2 and the number 1 guy above Jonathan Parker at certain points this season, but just hasn't been able to keep his nose clean sometimes, and wound up in some penalties and some infractions. Had a 1 race suspension, and now he finds himself a little bit behind this 92, a little bit behind the 8 ball, and just trying to catch up.
Yeah, and you mentioned Pacey Wygant. He is sitting P2 on the practice charts right now. Of course, P1 is Jonathan Parker. But Pacey Wygant, every time we come to a short track, he's always on my list for guys to watch out for. Pacey is very quick, very well skilled, and he knows how to get it done at shorter style tracks. Now, Phoenix, of course, is a mile long, so some people don't really count it as a short track, but in my opinion, I do. This drives like one. It's flatter than say Dover, which is also the same length as Phoenix. Dover carries a lot of speed around it. Phoenix, it's flatter. It's very rhythm based, if you will. And turns 1 and 2 are different than turns 3 and 4 as well, which can make things really challenging for these drivers. But I think, going back to the point of Pacey Wygant, he knows what it takes to win these races, and he very well could get it done tonight.
Looking down the speed charts, another driver that you and I have already talked to tonight was feeling very confident. At 22, Josh Arnold, he thinks he might be able to get it done here. He's looking at long run speed, so taking a lot of risk out of it, looking at long run speed, not saying we're going to have a caution fest, and saying he thinks he can stay right with these guys once we get the tires worn in and start putting down those slower lap times. So, that 22, you can't take him out of the conversation. If any of these guys that are ahead of him, Nick Apiak, Pacey Wygant, Jonathan Parker, if they have a bad qualifying lap, or if they even go out there and say they qualify in this order, they could even go out there and burn off their stuff. And if Josh Arnold is saying he can run long pace speed with the best of them, then he could be in contention for this thing if it does go to a long green flag run.
Driver, I'm going to point out, I mentioned at Watkins Glen that he is a driver that could easily get a top 5, and he did. Donnie Kite, he's on a roll, I think, a quiet roll. Late last season, he was really getting stronger and stronger as the season progressed. Right now, he's got the full season under his belt. He's feeling more comfortable racing around these cars, and you see just how much better he has gotten week to week over the course of over the season so far. Not a very good qualifier, but he comes around late in a race, and here lately he's actually started to show up a little bit sooner rather than later. Currently sitting 11th on the practice charts. I think Donnie Kite might be one to watch tonight as well.
Another driver out there just running laps right now, as we still have about 8.5 or 7.5 minutes left in practice here. Hunter Peach actually just went top of the board in practice. 26.274 for the driver of the 20, almost an entire 100th ahead of the 92. Maybe Hunter Peach has something to say about this whole conversation.
Hunter is such a good driver as well, and I can't remember if I said this last broadcast we did or not. I don't believe he was there for Watkins Glen, but one of the first things that Hunter Peach said to me when I met him in Charlotte was that he was sorry for bringing the old fast lane down. Fastlane, of course, sponsor of Hunter Peach and Fastlane JCTV podcast. And he was kind of down that he's not had the finishes that he would want. He's been looking forward to this one for a while. I can tell you that. And he's a pretty good racer too.
Oh, there's no doubting that, and I think you saying that you have that conversation with him. I remember when these drivers went to Iowa, he was the ping pong in the field. Like he was the ball. These drivers were just bouncing off of him the entire race. 2 major accidents. Car was essentially what should have been killed. And this driver drove it up into, I believe, a top 5 finish, maybe a top 3 even, with very, very heavy damage, and had a shot to win the race with a very heavily damaged car. So, I mean, the talent's there, and everything lines up for him. Like you said, Josh, just a lot of bad luck going for this driver this season, and hopefully tonight we get to see him turn it around a little bit. Good to see him at the top of the speed charts here in practice, and hopefully we'll see him at the top of the speed charts in qualifying and throughout the race.
Yeah, I told him having the fast lane logo gave him an extra 10 horsepower guaranteed. But I think having a Toyota is actually a 20 horsepower downgrade there for Hunter Peach. But in all seriousness, though, I'm excited to see what he can do. And I think it's going to be a good race for him tonight.
And Toyota, please don't sue us. Well, you gotta say these things. I mean, I know we're live and we're on JCTV, but you gotta say these things. Last thing we need is a letter showing up to anybody's doorstep of, oh boy, you said this about Toyota.
I'm a walking, talking billboard for Chevrolet who drives a Kia. So anyway,
You drive a what? You have a what in your mouth?
Moving on, Civic P6 is Cole Snyder. Cole, he's a driver in the Blazer Sim Racing in the Pursuit Truck Series. And it just seems like I've noticed a trend between the Di9 Designs Anywhere series, the SR, and the Pursuit Truck Series. He's fast, but he has bad luck in both of them. Cole Snyder, 6th on the speed charts right now. He knows he needs a race to go his way. And I think if he were to choose a race to go his way this weekend between tonight at Phoenix and tomorrow at Martinsville, I think he'll choose tonight at Phoenix.
I don't think tomorrow at Martinsville is a win for anybody if you're driving.
I think, more on that tomorrow. But say prayers for John and I, please.
Might get another soundboard moment on JCTV. We never know.
But yeah, Cole Snyder, he seems pretty fast when you come to short tracks as well. Running up front and just can't get the job done. Something happens. So I would not be surprised to see Cole Snyder running up front in this race either.
I won't lie. I see a lot of similarities in the driving style between myself and Cole Snyder. There's that similarity there. The aggressiveness, the no fear, no attitude, anything like that. Just going out there and driving, like just putting on the show that you come to put on. And I think the same argument could be made for me and him. We both need some luck to go our way. I think he's really good at short tracks in general. I really think he's doing well right now, only 2/10 off, and I mean that 2/10 is nothing when you factor in tire wear. Being 2/10 off right now actually might save you some tire later on in the run. And I raced around him at where were we at? USA just a couple weeks ago, and I think both of us ended up pretty much wrecked out of that race with nothing to show for. After both of us, I seen him and I myself, we were making our way up there for a while, and just not the night to go. So I agree with you that he needs some luck to go his way.
Cole Snyder sits 15th on the all-time win list in the Di9 Designs Anywhere series with 5 wins. 1 minute left in practice. John, we didn't discuss this in off air like we normally do, but I think we talked about a lot of drivers tonight, and I don't think we have a clear-cut favorite. So, who is your pick to win tonight?
Oh, yeah, that one's a tough one throughout the field, but I was gonna pick him before he set fast time because I seen what he was putting down, and he went out there and set the fast time on practice. I think it's the week for Hunter Peach. I think that bad luck turns around that he's been talking about. I think tonight's the night where we see a weight lifted off of this driver's shoulders, and I think he makes a statement here tonight and shows that he's not here to just get wrecked every week. He's here to win races. So I'm going to definitely keep my eye on this 20 car, and I'm definitely going to take him to win the race.
Well, as crazy as it may be not to pick Jonathan Parker or Pacey Wygen, I'm not going to do it. You always have a wild card. And I think, we were talking about him a little bit earlier. I'm going to go with Cole Snyder. Watch out for that driver, the 24.
So the bad luck streaks, one of them's going to break here tonight. That's what we're predicting.
Jake Millsap is going to be the first one out on track for qualifying. Coming out of turn 2, it was formerly turn 4. And I don't know about you, Canfield, but I still get these turns mixed up from time to time.
I may or may not get them confused. I don't know. I'm pretty used to the new layout that they went with. I won't say I like it, but it's not terrible.
I'll shake Millsap, and he was running around the bottom of both lanes. P2 on the board for Millsap. Happyak goes P1. This corner here through 1 and 2, you can get away with running a little bit higher, and I'm surprised that he's not taking advantage of going just a little bit higher to carry the advantage. I feel like it is a little bit faster than being right down there on the bottom. Now here, it looks like Millsap's going to completely miss the bottom, come off turn 4, and not... Actually, it is an improvement for Jake Millsap. A 28.773. Jimmy Mensch. P7. First lap. Jamil Hawkins currently sits P1, 26.319. Jimmy Mensch coming off turn 4, going to cross the line. It's going to be not an improvement on position. Still P8. Cole Snyder. First lap. It's P4. Snyder's going to cross the line and go to P3. Just Quimby. P7 on lap 1. Lap 2. Still going to be at P7. Zachary Meredith, driver we did not talk about in practice, but Meredith, he's a driver that you can not look past. He is a really good race car driver as well, and right now warming up his tires. See if Meredith can knock off Jamil Hawkins' time. Still pole speed a 26.319. As Meredith took the green flag and running a higher line like I was talking about there through 1 and 2 and then cut down. Actually, I really like that line out of Meredith for lap 1 in turns 1 and 2. P6 for Meredith. And Meredith's going to come across the line, go to P3. So Jamil Hawkins, Nick Kapiak, Zachary Meredith, top 3 positions. 12 drivers have set a qualifying lap, and right now there is nobody on track. Hunter Peach sitting at the end of pit road, just waiting. Still 4.5 minutes left in qualifying, and the track temp is currently 78 degrees Fahrenheit. Hunter Beach deciding he's going to start rolling. Hunter Beach in the 213 Simware Toyota. Across the line, start the his lap time, and that's not out of bounds at all down there in the dog leg. Drive down there, qualifying. Drive down there in the race. It's all fair. Hunter Beach, he carried a lot of speed going into turn one. I thought he was going to go up and hit the wall. He kept it off the wall. Now going into 3 and 4, and did a really good line down there. Cross the line. P1 for Hunter Peach on lap 1.
26:239. The official time on that lap. Almost a tenth above the field.
See if any improvement on lap 2. It will not be. Pacey Wygant, though, crossed the line, finished his qualifying P3, and now we go to Jonathan Parker. Who just crossed the line for his first lap.
Parker's turn 1 very similar to that of Hunter Peach, but the only difference is Parker keeps it down a little lower. See if that helps at all. 26:390 on the first lap. Just carrying a ton of speed into turn 1. See the car wash up the track, but not washing up as high as Hunter Peach let the car wash up. Still carrying a ton of momentum out of that corner. No improvement from Jonathan Parker. He'll be sitting P4 right now.
Jose Ruiz gonna start qualifying. 1:10 left. (26:239) is still the time to beat. Claim the pole. Ruiz currently P17. See any improvement? Up to P9. And with that being said, there's 30 seconds left, John. It's not enough time for anybody to go out there that hasn't and start time. I think Hunter Peach is your pole winner. And I have to say, he's probably excited about that.
Certainly making a statement right there, showing these guys that he is not coming here to play around tonight. He means business, and he proved it right there. Like I said, almost a tenth up on the field.
So let's take a look at your starting grid. There we go. Starting on the pole is going to be Hunter Peach, with Jamil Hawkins starting P2. Pacey Wygant will start in 3rd. Jonathan Parker will start 4th. And Nick Kapiak will start from P5. John?
Rolling off P6 is going to be at 17 is Zachary Meredith, with Cole Snyder alongside him. Kyle Tubbs going to roll off from the 8th position. And then Jose Ruiz is going to take the 9th position on the grid. Noah Blackwell taking 10th to round out your top 10 here tonight.
Nathan Lehman will start in 11th. Justin Quimby in P12. Jake Millsap qualifies 13th. Michael Morgan qualifies 14th. And Rodney Ayers qualifies in 15th.
Rounding out your field here tonight, Jimmy Mensch is going to be starting in the 16th position with Josh Arnold in that 17th position. Chase McGuire, first of your non-qualifiers, will start in the 18th position with Donnie Kite going to be in the 19th position. 20th going to go to Mike Campbell. 21st, Steven Brynock. And then 22nd, shotgun of the field. Don't know if he's here. Haven't seen him grid yet, but that would be Dawson Allen.
And Dawson Allen is not here tonight. These cars are rolling off pit road. The nighttime is the right time to go racing. This pace car will work its way into the safety of pit road. Quite a distance from pit entry to the restart zone. Hunter Peach ready to lead these guys 185 laps around this 1 mile track. Avondale, Arizona. Inside the restart zone, green flag is waving. We are underway here at Phoenix.
Oh, Zach Meredith already up there in that outside wall. He's going to drop way back. Jake Millsap going to spin around. He saves it. We are still clean and green.
Hunter Peach will lead lap 1, but Janelle Hawkins right there trying to contest the position with him. Meanwhile, behind Jonathan Parker, Pacey Wygant, they are side by side for P3.
Two drivers that can't seem to get away from each other, much similar to last season with in the Pit News Truck Series. Just Parker has never ran away with a championship, and it doesn't look like he's going to run away with one here this season. Right now, Wygant holding off Parker.
Hunter Peach currently holding off Jamil Hawkins. Hawkins was right there at Peach's right rear. I'm sorry, left rear, but Peach was able to get a run off using the higher line. He is really favoring that line in 1 and 2. Pacey Wygant run a little bit higher as well. But Jamil Hawkins is in 1 and 2, and that's what I'm talking about. As I said earlier, turns 1 and 2 are different than 3 and 4. 1 and 2, you can have more momentum going into the corner, run a higher line, and actually it's kind of the preferred line. As you see here, Jonathan Parker looking underneath Pacey Wygant, and as I expected, Pacey Wygant is just going to drive away using that momentum from the high line.
Right now, the top 4 cars pretty much spread out as you see Pacey Wygent taking a peek under Jamil Hawkins. Just no run right now. The handling on this 4 car is starting to go away, though. Pacey Wygent might be able to take advantage here in the next couple laps.
Riding on board with Pacey Wygent. You see there, Jamil Hawkins going to try a higher line. Back here, Cole Snyder, P6. He's got Nick Kapiak right in front of him.
Josh, don't look now, but the 22 is on the move. Josh Arnold laid down a pretty subpar qualifying lap. Started P17. This driver's already up to the 11th position. And looking for more as he's catching the 17 of Zachary Meredith, who we've seen get in the wall very early on in this race.
Trying to sneak into the top 10.
And he doesn't look rushed either. Just looks like he's letting the car flow through the corners, hitting his marks. He's not on the back bumper of the 17. He's just catching the 17 in places where he's better. Not pushing the car real hard. Saving a little bit of tire here. Like I said, we talked to him earlier. That was his goal, was to try and be there, even with the lap times, when it comes down to being on older stuff, even being faster on older stuff. As the 17 of Zachary Meredith's going to pull over and let the 22 go. Now, the 22 sets his sights on Nathan Lehman and Jose Ruiz.
Just a little bit before the broadcast started, I was sitting in a chat with Michael Morgan and Josh Arnold. And Michael Morgan, of course, he is pretty newer to iRacing and doing this. Struggling a little bit with trying to find pace. And so I was helping Michael Morgan to give him a little bit of tips. Josh Arnold was sitting there listening to the conversation. I don't know if he took any of my pointers and is using them, but just because he was in there, I'm going to take a little bit of credit for this.
Oh, your credit is earned, Josh. You did also put on a very impressive performance yourself during the ITPN Phoenix race earlier this season.
Yeah, before in that race, of course, Jonathan Parker was the winner of that one, and I still don't know how I did that.
Let's not leave the most important factor out of the equation here. You did that on much older tires than a lot of the drivers around you, and I think some of the pointers you gave are going to help not only Michael Morgan if he listens to you, but if Josh Arnold was listening, those pointers can help, and it looks like so far he's putting them to good use.
You know, a lot of my pointers, so a lot of my success at this track has been with the Cup cars, and specifically the Gen 6 cars, the cars that these guys are running right now. I've had success with the Gen 7, but not as much as I have with the Gen 6. And I only won one race with the Gen 6 here, but I had a lot of finishes that could have gone away. And love this track. with the Cup car, it always just fit my style. I don't know what it was because I used to not like this track. It just kind of came to me. So a lot of my pointers, you know, they weren't just getting around this track. They were for how to get around this track, specifically in the Cup car. I really don't know how I did it in the truck.
Back up front, Hunter Peach pulling away. Pacey Wygant still applying pressure to the floor of Jamil Hawkins. Jamil Hawkins right now, I've been watching him last couple laps. Been loose on exit. That's really been the only disadvantage he's had. He's carried good speed everywhere else throughout the corners. And kind of been even with this 0-0. But just a little loose on the exit. And I think that's really what's keeping Pacey Wygant in this.
Yeah, these three are just stuck like glue right now. Of course, Wygant and Parker feel like they're faster than Hawkins. Just not able to get around Hawkins right now. And Hawkins is doing a good job at running the defensive line. And the line he needs to keep the momentum up.
Now the 0-0 is going to take a peek to the inside here, going into turns 3 and 4. That dirty air is going to affect him. That's going to allow the 92 to have a run and have a shot at the 0-0 here.
So I'm a little bit
not enough.
I'm a little bit surprised that Hawkins was able to actually pull away from Pacey Wygant there on the outside of going into turn 3 because the preferred line through 3 is right around the bottom. 1 and 2, I'd feel comfortable on the top, but you may want to get to the bottom before you get to 3. Hunter Peach, though, he's looking in his mirror and saying, yeah, keep battling, boys, just slowing each other down. I'll just pull away.
I mentioned it earlier about this 20 car and what he could do if he puts everything together all in one night. So far, doing exactly what he needs to do. Fast in practice, fast in qualifying, and right now, putting a scorcher on the field, already up to a 1.4 second lead last time they crossed the line. We'll see if it increased any more when he crosses the line. But still, what can you say about Hunter Peach and what he's doing right now? Putting it to him.
Yeah, doing a great job so far in this race. Jonathan Parker looking underneath, facing Wygant. He's trying to. Wygant might have burned up his tires a little bit too much trying to get around Jamil Hawkins. You see Hawkins started drive away.
Hawkins has not only started to drive away, he's starting to hunt down this 20 car. I'm not sure if Hunter Peach is saving his tires a little bit here, or if Jamil just found some speed somewhere, but last time by, cut a 1.2 second lead down to a 1.1 second lead. Cutting down about a tenth a lap. Starting to kind of reel that 20 car back in a little bit.
Time by, it looked like Peach was a little bit faster. 27.493 compared to a 27.517 of Peach and Hawkins.
I'm going to say the spotter got in the ear. You know, iRacing spotters, they did an update recently. Spotters are starting to give more information on the sim than, you know, they used to. Now it's almost like having an actual human voice in your ear. They're giving you updates on where the cars are, how much speed you're giving up, if you're losing time to the car behind or the car in front. So for Jamil Hawkins, he's getting told by his spotter that he's catching. Hunter Peach, he's getting told the same information in reverse that the car behind is catching. So these drivers are very aware of each other right now.
Hunter Beach, a little bit faster than Jamil Hawkins once again. That last time by. But Hunter Peach, 30 laps. He's led them all so far here at Phoenix Raceway. We're gonna step away, but don't go anywhere. You're not gonna miss a thing as we go. JCTV side by side.
He's going to pull down low. He's going to clear low. And I think that's going to do it. Andrew Chapman is leading the race, coming to 3 and 4 for the final time. How about that to open the season? Andrew Chapman's going to win it here at Atlanta.
And it is going to be career win number 3, Kyle Tubbs.
For the lead, we're going to be 3 wide for the lead.
Oh man, this is tight.
Yeah, exactly, right there with you, Josh. Where did the 6 car come from? He was just back there battling for, I believe it was probably 7th or 8th position, and now he's up here battling for the lead. We're going to be 3 wide for the lead.
Oh man, this is tight. It's going to be Affiak who has an advantage over Meredith and Parker.
Hey guys, it's Jonathan from JCTV. Here at JCTV, we currently broadcast 3 series. On Tuesdays, you'll catch the Slide Job Racing League featuring drivers such as Dalton Kilroe, Dane Cruz, and Jonathan Parker.
And real quick, we are 3 wide for the race lead. Hawkins, Wygant, Hapiak, they went 4 wide for a moment with a lap car.
On Fridays, you'll see the NAOR series featuring Nick Hapiak, Chris Wright, and Josh Arnold. As that happens, here comes the 5 through the middle right now. He's going to force the issue and take it
4
3
wide! 4 wide!
God.
What a move by Justin Durand to go to the race lead!
On Saturdays, you can find the In the Pit News Truck Series featuring Justin Durand, Zach Probst, and Ethan Fonseca Moreno. To book JCTV for your own league, please visit us at jctvracing.com and contact us for a booking. Remember, race fans, you can always watch racing live or anytime over at JCTV's YouTube channel.
Back here live in Avondale, Arizona from Phoenix Raceway. Your leader still Hunter Peach. No Hawkins has cut that lead down to just a little over half a second now. But it is Josh Arnold who's been the biggest mover so far. 17 to 7 so far this race. 44 laps. 43 laps complete on lap 44 of the race. John, what's the biggest thing that has surprised you so far?
You've already talked about it. It's got to be that 22. I mean, he's on the move. But another driver that is on the move and is going to be up almost 10 spots now as well as Josh Arnold is that 2-car of Donnie Kite, starting in the 19th position, did not take a qualifying time here tonight. So he just took the back row starting challenge and already up to the 11th position, knocking on the door of 10th as he's going to be battling with Nathan Lehman here soon. He's a couple seconds back, but, I mean, he's already moved up this far in the field, and as tire wear keeps going, it seems like this 2-car is just picking up the pace just ever so slightly, and I give it just a matter of time before he's to the back bumper of this 14-car Nathan Lehman as Zach Meredith has actually moved himself up a spot. He got around Lehman after his early contact with the wall. Now Jose Ruiz gets a little bit of a breather as Lehman and Meredith battled there. But don't give it too long. Meredith's going to be hunting down this 23.
It's not one thing that I've been noticing here. Of course, Jamil Hawkins closed in on Hunter Peach. Peach stretching the gap a little bit now. It's up to 8/10 again. And Hunter Peach has been consistently a little bit better than Jamil Hawkins.
I think this is the joys of leading a race like this. Not like Hunter Peach is drowned in lap traffic, but catching little bits of lap traffic here and there. So I imagine that dirty air is hurting his handling just a little bit when he does catch a car, but he makes quick work of it. And then, you know, I say this is the fun part about being the leader, and I say that because you can manage the gap a little bit. When you're leading a race, you set the pace. I think Hunter Peach is playing that game a little bit right now. He's kind of setting the pace. Hey, I need this. I can slow down. I have this gap. But then he has the speed to pick it right back up and set the gap back wider when it gets too close. So, I mean, he's managing this race really, really well, and I'm enjoying watching it so far.
Last race Hunter Peach did was Texas about a month ago. And things were going well until they weren't. And he was involved in an incident while running up front. Hunter Peach, it's really been not contested so far for him. In a race that has been caution-free so far. As They have completed 50 laps, 135 to go, so still a long way to go in this race. But Hunter Peach about to extend his gap back to over a second over Jamil Hawkins.
And, you know, exactly what I was just talking about, you know, knowing when it's kind of playing like a game of tug of war with Jamil Hawkins. The only difference is Jamil Hawkins is running his car to try and chase Hunter Peach down. Hunter Peach is in control of that rope right now. He's playing tug of war. He's letting Jamil catch him, and then he's pulling away. He's letting Jamil catch him. He's hitting the gas, and he's hitting the brakes at the right time. He's just, like I said, putting on a masterclass right now, and it's impressive. Something that you don't see very much in asphalt racing. You see it a lot in the dirt style of racing, where somebody will be leading and they're not pushing their car as hard because they know they don't need to push the car as hard to win the race. They just need to manage their gap so they don't get past, and I think Hunter Peach is doing a great job of that right now.
These two here, Jonathan Parker and Pacey Wygent, they cannot get away from each other. Parker and Wygent still, well, third and fourth, with Wygent third, Parker fourth. These guys, they've been putting on a show so far.
And we just talked about it during that commercial break, Josh, while we were off the air. Our top five right now is as they gridded. None of these drivers have swapped positions from where they started. So, I mean, if you're Jonathan Parker, you're kind of a little frustrated as you see him get a little loose there with getting off the corner. But you got to feel the frustration setting in, like, just, man, I haven't been able to pass this guy, and I haven't been able to go try and chase down anybody. But hats off to Pacey Wygent. He's been running his line and doing the best that he can and holding off this 92. The 92's made quite a few charges. I'm interested to see when we hit the pit window, Josh, how these strategies vary, who stays out longer, you know, who tries to pull an undercut, who pulls on an overcut even. You know, this race could be a big strategy call type of race. But as we are watching drivers do battle on track, I do see we have our first retiree of the night, Noah Blackwell in that 69 machine. Never really talked about it here on air, but I know I talked about it to Josh before we came on air, driving a really nice 2008 Jimmy Johnson-esque throwback type scheme with his sponsors on it. Noah Blackwell pulls that 69 machine behind the wall, and his night will end in the 21st position.
Currently watching battle between Donnie Kite and Kyle Tubb. You mentioned it, Donnie Kite was P11, knocking on the door of 10th, but since then lost position to Kyle Tubb, and these two, they are running nose to tail. Donnie Kite wants that position back.
I've been watching Kyle Tubbs' lap times, and, you know, driver that fell back early on in the run, but fell back as far as I believe it was maybe 16th or 17th position, and slowly climbed his way back up here, regained composure. He's been one of our biggest droppers from the green flag, but also now one of the biggest movers since he dropped back. So, I mean, Kyle Tubb, no slouch here tonight, putting on a decent performance right now, looking to make it better as he keeps knocking on the door, as I mentioned, of a top 10.
Now, I just noticed while you were talking about Kyle Tubb there, the gap between Hunter Peach and Jamil Hawkins has grown a ton. I just pan the camera over to Jamil Hawkins, and there's a lot of right side damage on that 4 machine. Something happens to Hawkins.
It does look like Hawkins did grab a little bit of the wall. As Zachary Meredith's going to come down pit road, maybe the first car to peel off and come down pit road here for the cycle. I'm not sure if we're in the window yet here, Josh, but 61 laps, I mean, you got to imagine we were getting close.
I am currently trying to find what happened. And I have it. Right here on the JCTV replay. Hawkins got a lot going into turn 1 there. Super loose. Honestly, might not have been a bad idea to pit there. He was right there facing towards pit entry. I think would have had plenty of time to slow down. So that puts a big damper on things. So now Jamil Hawkins, he is almost in the clutches of Pacey Wygant and Jonathan Parker.
Yeah, right now Jamil Hawkins got a second gap over the drivers behind him, but gap's going to close with that damage. You know, Parker and Wygant, as much as they've been battling, have kept their cars clean, and we've seen early on in this race, Zach Meredith, he got the wall and he dropped back a ton. Of course, Zach Meredith being our first driver to pull off for pit stop here this race. Now, Jamil Hawkins looks like he is struggling with the handling of his race car.
And, you know, I don't necessarily think it's really the damage that is slowing Jamil Hawkins down right now. I think it's just the tires. I think his tires are angry. He's drove them pretty hard. And, yeah, the damage is not helping by any means. But I think he, if he gets tires on that car, he should be all right. Nick Kapiak coming down pit road, as well as Michael Morgan and I believe Jimmy Mensch pit road as well.
Looks like the 06 Michael Morgan might have missed his pit stall there. Just overshot it a little bit. That's going to cost him a lot of time here on pit road. He was already a lap down. Now probably going to be 3-4 laps down by the time he gets back out there. And Josh, that is actually something worth mentioning. In this league, we actually run a lap down counter. After a certain amount of laps, drivers have not met minimum speed if they're a certain number of laps down, and they will be requested to pull down pit road and park the car. And that is, tonight, it would be any driver 9 laps down or more. So, I mean, we've got a few of them that are going to fall in that window here. As if this stays green, they're going to be close. You've got Jimmy Mensch, now 3 laps down. Mentioned that he just pitted. Michael Morgan, 3 laps down. And, oh, my goodness, what has happened to the 06?
Oh! We panned the camera over to him, and I saw a car going straight for him.
Looks like just a little bit too much push on these new tires. Yeah, he overcooked it and spun out to the inside wall. Heavy right rear damage, right side damage to that 06 car. No caution. Single car incident. This league runs race control caution only. No iRacing cautions. Single car incident does not warrant a caution. And the 06 soldiers on for now, but heavy damage to the right side of his car. Now 4 laps down. And as we were looking at that, Hunter Peach just brought it to pit road.
Yeah, Jonathan Parker stayed out another lap, and he is now down pit road as well. But Hunter Peach going to take 4 tires, and now he is off and away.
That'll hand the lead over to somebody familiar that we were talking about on the climb here this race. That hands the lead over to Josh Arnold as he's going to pull it down pit road here. See if he gets it down to speed. He does. And it looks like he's bringing Cole Snyder, Jose Ruiz, Kyle Tubb, and Donnie Kite almost had a collision on the entry of pit road. That should cycle the lead right now over to Nathan Lehman, who's still out here on track, getting passed by everybody, not able to make it to pit road this time. Got the 06 and the 00 ahead, or not the 06, the 6. My confusion. They're running the same paint scheme, but the 6 of Nick Apiak and 00 Pacey Wygen ahead of him. See if Nathan Lehman brings it down anytime sooner, if he's going to try and run longer than these drivers.
So Lehman and Campbell both have yet to come down pit road. Peach will be the first one on those 4 fresh tires at pit. And something that I'm a little bit surprised about, Jamil Hawkins. He is he pit before Hunter Peach did. He actually closed the gap between himself and Hunter Peach from where it was at. After that contact, and still running out there before ultimately bringing it down pit road. It's about
and Nathan Lehman's going to bring it into pit road. This will hand the lead off to Hunter Peach. As you mentioned, Jamil Hawkins able to close that gap up just a little bit. Pacey Wygent running 3rd. Hapiak moving up to the 4th spot ahead of Jonathan Parker. Jonathan Parker closing the gap right now, pitting later than some of the drivers ahead of him. Something we've always known Parker to do. He likes to play a longer game. Be able to run his tires a little bit fresher than the guys in front of him right now. Trying to chase down this 6 of Nick Hapiak.
Hapiak's going to stay high. Parker is going to go low. And take a lot of that dog leg. They're going to be side by side through 1-2, but it's not going to be anything for Jonathan Parker, who's now going to start to pull away from Nick Hapiak.
Oh, and you see the 06 of Michael Morgan move out of the way there, but moved out of the way a little too much. He's grabbing more of that wall. That's not going to help the damage, but way to get out of the way there and let those drivers battle for position. And, you know, Josh, you mentioned that Jamil Hawkins had closed the gap. Hunter Peach already opened it back up to 3 seconds. Last time they came across the line. Now it's going to be a 3.2 second lead as they cross the line. And Pacey Wygent needs to watch in his mirror because this 92 of Jonathan Parker is on a mission. He's already cut the gap way down to what it was when he came off pit road to Pacey Wygent.
Yeah, Jonathan Parker trying anything he can to get an advantage in this race.
So they went about 65 laps. That puts them in the window to do one more stop and make it to the end of this race. Jonathan Parker, really the best of all of them, of the top 5. He's going to be sitting absolutely pretty to make it to the end. The rest of the drivers it's gonna be close. It might not be as close, and also with iRacing now, you got to remember to turn off that auto fuel. It's something that we don't talk about a lot here on JCTV, but iRacing added an auto fuel feature, which puts fuel in the car for you as Jonathan Parker's trying to make the pass on Pacey Wygent again, not clear off turn 2. Pacey Wygent going to have the higher line in turns 3 and 4. But auto fuel puts the fuel in the car for you. Almost contact between the two. And coming to that last pit stop, if you don't take auto fuel off, it could give you just enough to finish. Which with this league would be fine because we don't run green-white checkers. But any other racing league that you see where we have the green-white checkers, that can mess you up. I was watching the duels on Tuesday. I should have been participating in them, but work comes before racing as always. And I was watching the duels Tuesday, and a teammate of mine over at GGA, Zach Wareham, had that exact issue happen to him. He was short on fuel in duel number 2 with the Slide Job Racing League, and it was all because of auto fuel. That could play a factor here tonight. Keep a watch for some of these drivers. If they ever forget to uncheck their auto fuel, maybe cutting it close on fuel.
These two drivers still running side by side. They actually are closing in on Jamil Hawkins. While doing so, usually you see drivers side by side. It slows them down. It's not slowed them down any. They are still closing in on Jamil Hawkins. And it's about to be 3-car battle for P2. Jonathan Parker might have cleared Pacey Wygent. Wygent gets to his right rear just at the exit of 2.
If I'm the 92 of Jonathan Parker, I'd put that note in the back of my head right now, and I'm doing this next time we go down into turns 1 and 2. Get it into the bottom and slide out to that lane that Wygent is in. He showed that he can get the momentum to get there. Now he just needs to complete it. Is Wygent going to get put in a little bit of a box here behind Jamil Hawkins? That's going to allow the 92 to have an advantage. Sort of. Not a full advantage because the 92 still has to work his way by the 4. As he's going to peel off to that dogleg again. We're going to see him go deep into the corner here, but no room to slide up with that 4-car being there. Puts the 92 in a box. We're going to be 3 wide off the corner for P2 right now between Pacey Wygent, Jamil Hawkins, and Jonathan Parker going into turn 3 and 4.
I have no idea how in the world these guys have the talent to do that. And they're still side by side for now second, what was just third. These two just won't give up.
They will not, but as I said, the move that needs to be made here, if you're Jonathan Parker, you need to drive this thing into turn 1, and you need to absolutely slide all the way out to that lane. Not enough momentum to get it done this lap. If they stay side by side, the outside's going to prevail. Parker's going to lose it. Oh, little wiggle out of the 0-0 there. Parker's got the advantage coming down the straightaway.
Still side by side. This is intense. I'm not even in the car, and my heart is beating fast. I'm just watching these two, like, who's gonna get the position? At one point you think it might be Wygent, another you think it might be Parker. I mean, these guys are racing like it's for the last lap. They just passed halfway.
Parker finally gonna clear for that spot. We'll see if it changes the mind of Pacey Wygent on the line he was running. Pacey does pull down in behind Parker. Maybe now Pacey can learn what Parker's doing that's gaining him so much speed, but still, a tall task lays at the hands of all these drivers with a 5-second advantage going to the driver of that 20 car. That is Hunter Peach. But a lot of laps to go, and I just seen the ticker change. Jonathan Parker is cutting into that 5-second gap.
That he is. And some of it has to do with a couple lap fresher tires as well.
And you see now, the first run we watched these two run, Parker couldn't get by Pacey Wygent. Now that he's clear of Pacey Wygent, he is putting it on.
But, I mean, could it be at the expense of his tires as well, though, John? I mean, you know, right now, if he goes hard, he might be banking on a caution coming out soon. You know, try to get to Peach. But, I mean, you know, if this thing stays green, Parker's pushing it. Ultimately, Hunter Peach is just going to, you know, pull away in the long run.
That is right, but there's one thing that I noticed throughout that entire battle he had with Pacey Wygent, and it was very little wiggles. So, you know, we talk about tire wear and what it can do. The driver who wiggles more when you're side by side like that for lap after lap is actually wearing their tires worse. And Pacey Wygent was, the car was wiggling a lot right there as they were side by side. And now you see Wygent not really going away, but Parker just slowly stretching it out and trying to gain that advantage and closing in the gap on Hunter Peach. Maybe Parker learned something in that first run with his car and the way it handles that he can push the tires a little harder. At the same time, right now is the time to push, because if you're going to close the gap at all, you got to close it now in this middle run, knowing that you got to take one more set of tires and a tank of gas.
So the gap down to 4 seconds between Jonathan Parker and Hunter Peach. Peach, who just had, well, I was going to say the sun's shining, but, I mean, it is almost 10 p.m. in sim time. But hypothetically, sun shining in front of him with no pressure from behind. He still doesn't have pressure from behind yet. But, you know, he's looking at times, hearing the spotter like you were talking about. This could get in his head.
If Peach lets it get in his head right now that Jonathan Parker is closing, it could throw this whole race away for him. He could start overdriving the car, and he could burn his stuff off. But as you mentioned, the 92 could be pushing right now and burning his stuff up. And I firmly believe he is. But as I said, if there's any time to close the gap, it's this run right here, this middle run. You want to close that gap as much as you physically can and give yourself a chance at the last run of the race. When you put on that fresh set of stickers in that last tank, and you put that last tank of gas in the car, you want to know that you have closed that gap down and that you have a chance to run him down. That's all Parker's trying to do right now, is give himself a chance.
Jonathan Parker right now dealing with a lot of lap traffic. He was to the inside of Chewy Mensch. Chewy Mensch got sideways. That looked scary, but able to keep it going forward. Now, still a couple cars in front of Jonathan Parker before he has a clean track for a little while.
Yes, and watching the ticker right now, I don't have the live updating that Josh and all you folks at home do. I just keep watching the ticker every lap. But yet again, holy crap, Parker has just cut it into 3 seconds. I mean, didn't lose a ton of time getting around the lappers and cut almost a half a second that lap. Folks, if you came for a show, we're getting ready to see a show, and it's going to be the 92 against the 20 very soon if Jonathan Parker keeps clicking off laps like he is.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Not ideal timing there, though. He catches the 7 of Chase McGuire at a terrible spot, and the 3 of Justin Quimby sitting in kind of a bad spot, too. Oh, Parker not having a good time with this lap traffic.
And Nathan Lehman coming up as well. Lehman a little bit quicker, though he is a lap down.
Nathan Lehman, our last car to pit during that last pit cycle, really just following Jonathan Parker, trying to unlap himself. Now having to deal with the guys he's racing against. Is he be racing against the 3 of Justin Quimby and the 7 of Chase McGuire?
Now Jonathan Parker is through all the thick of the lap traffic. One more in front of him, and that is Michael Morgan, who is going to go way up to the wall. And Jonathan Parker gets past him.
Oh, we had contact behind, though. I seen the 06. He got turned, and he's going to go back out into traffic, and we have a caution. Jimmy Mensch is involved. Oh, Josh Arnold might have caught a piece of Jimmy Mensch there. Oh, my goodness.
Chase McGuire, Justin Quimby also involved.
Yeah. Josh, I'm going to speak a little bit of my mind here. I don't see the 06 doing anything wrong there. I mean, holds his line. I don't know what Justin Quimby thought he saw there. But, I mean, just straight ran into the back of the 06 like he wasn't there. I don't know if he was looking in the mirror at where the 7 was or if he just wasn't paying attention there, but terrible break for the 06. And then the only thing I'll criticize is, I mean, he had it locked down and then he let it roll all the way back out to the track, and that collected Jimmy Mensch. But a lot happening right there in such a short time. Again, just not sure what the 3 thought he's seen there. Not sure what caused that contact. Just straight drove in the back of poor Michael Morgan.
And this changes a lot of things as well. You know, now the field is back together. We're going to have our first restart of the race.
Which means we're also going to have our first choose of the night.
Yeah, of course these guys have a choose cone. I don't have a graphic for you, but it's pretty much, if you watch the In Pits News Truck Series, pretty much the same procedure. Once you get to the start-finish line, you're going to take either the outside or the inside. You don't want to roll through the middle of the start-finish line. I'll tell you, I fully expect Hunter Peach to take the outside. If you're Jonathan Parker, you take... I mean, if I'm Jonathan Parker, honestly, I might just take the outside too. But knowing him, he'll probably take the inside. And Wygen, I would not be surprised if Wygen goes straight to the outside as well for the restart. assuming Parker takes the inside. And there
Parker
it is.
going to take the inside, Wydget to the outside. Somebody who has appeared in the top 5, though, after this caution, I don't think we documented it. Josh Arnold up to the top 5.
Yeah, Arnold's going to restart on the inside of row 3. The lights on the pace car are off, of course, and going to come down to pit road. So once again, long ways to get around to that restart zone. Hunter Peach, same position he's been pretty much all race. Gonna lead us to the green. And inside the restart zone, green flag is back in the air. 74 laps to go here from Phoenix. Peach, he goes down to that dog leg. And Parker, he goes even further and low.
Parker has shown us all night long that he loves that bottom. He's going to try and get a run off the corner, just not enough right now as he's trying to defend from Pacey Wygant. Pacey Wygant, almost contact there on the entry of the corner. Wygant moves up the track just a little bit. Oh, a little loose off. They're getting crazy here, Josh. This restart, we knew it was going to throw a wrench in the plans of Hunter Peach, but it's throwing a wrench in the plans of everybody. Everybody's trying to jockey for position. Look at Donald Kite. Donald Kite trying to fight for position. Josh Arnold going to spin out in front of Donald Kite. That's going to bring out the caution.
And we are going to have our second caution. And they say cautions breed cautions. Take a look at what happened, and looks like Arnold just got on the throttle too soon. Made that rear kick out and spin across the track. And something is up with our live timing now. I don't know what's going on.
And we do have our minimum speed first official minimum speed retiree, and it is going to be that 06 of Michael Morgan. Jimmy Mensch on the cusp of being the next minimum speed driver to have to park it. Looks like he disconnected and reconnected, so we'll see if that driver, the 94, gets back in his car. Right now, showing him not in his car. That caution is, however, going to give our lucky dog to Chase McGuire as he'll get back on the lead lap here. Right now, Justin Quimby, only car 1 lap down. Ronnie Ayers is going to be 2 down. Steven Brynock is going to be 2 down. Mike Campbell also 2 down. 3 laps down is going to be the 19 of Jake Millsap. And like I mentioned, Jimmy Mensch back in the session, but not back in his car. He is 7 laps down currently, about to be 8 laps down. So I think we've seen all we're going to see from the driver on the 94 tonight. So unofficially, your drivers finishing 19th, 20th, and 21st are going to be Jimmy Mensch, Michael Morgan, and Noah Blackwell. All our retired drivers here tonight. And something I'm noticing here, Josh, I don't know if you see it, that 20 car, he's got some rear end damage.
Yeah.
Not sure whose nose got in there, but he's got some rear end damage.
It's, I didn't notice it till you pointed that out.
I hate to bring it up because we just talked at the top of the show about him coming and making a statement, showing everybody that his luck has turned around and that his bad luck is done, but really, I mean, I don't think it'll affect his handling too much. This is not an aero-dependent type of track. But you gotta hope that nothing else is damaged on the car with him having that rear end damage.
Yeah, that could affect the handling of this car. So that's something to keep an eye on. Real quick, I don't know what's going on with the ticker. As I mentioned, I just restarted it. All the positions are back correct. The timing is back correct. But the only issue I'm seeing right now is the fact that it says 10 to go. There is, in fact, well more than 10 laps to go, as there are currently 69. Coming to 68 laps to go at the line, so we'll see if that resets itself soon. But just keep in mind, there is not 10 laps to go. This pace car is in. We are about to come back to the green flag. Hunter Peach choosing the outside. Jonathan Parker choosing the inside. They're going to be inside the restart zone right now. Green flag is back waving. Jonathan Parker spinning the tires a little bit. It's going to open up the door. Pacey Wygant to get side by side with Jonathan Parker.
We've seen these two go side by side for multiple laps. But Jonathan Parker going to take that deep send into turns 1 and 2. He's going to be side by side for the lead coming off. Hunter Peach looking like his car is not handling the way it wants to, way he wants it to, with that damage. Parker going to have a look here. He might be clear going into turns 1 and 2 this time by. He's going to take a deep dive at the dogleg. Peach going to chase him down there. But he's going to send it in hard. Peach going to send it in hard as well. They're going to be side by side. Parker going to clear for now. Peach going to try and cross under. Peach getting aggressive. He's going to cross under. We're going to have side by side into 3 and 4 again.
This is where you got to be.
Advantage right now. Parker at the line. He does lead his first lap of the night. Wygant and Hawkins watching all this go down in front of them, waiting for their moment to pounce. It's the first time we've seen Peach be in this kind of position. We'll see how he battles back. Making that bottom work right now. We know Jonathan Parker loves the bottom. How much does Peach like it?
Almost advantage to Parker. Peach, though, with a bobble. Jonathan Parker's going to clear. And now Pacey Wygant's going to get to the outside of Hunter Peach. Wygant's going to clear Peach. Peach tucks in the line. Now Hawkins look at the inside of Peach. I think Peach much rather would be on that outside line, though. See how it goes for him. Going into turn 1 here. As he is going to be out front of Jamil Hawkins. But now, different situation. Pacey Wygant, Jonathan Parker, they're nose to tail, of course. But this time, it's not for third, it's not for second, it's for the race lead.
Yeah, and Josh, I went back and investigated where Peach got his damage. We didn't see it, but, excuse me, last restart, that 00 got in the back of the 20 before the 20 even hit the gas to launch for the green flag. So that is where the damage came from on the 20 car, and that, as we mentioned, could affect the handling of his car. And Pacey Wygant, no damage to his car.
Interesting how that happened there. Pacey Wygant, though, just ever so slightly quicker than Jonathan Parker. That time by it was Parker, but I mean it's not even by a tenth. It's by thousandths.
Yeah, right now Parker, Wygent 1-2, Peach trying to chase him back down. Hawkins trying to find an advantage out there. He's going to run the low lane. Look at Nick Hapiak. He's trying to get up on the wheel and get in this. A lot of drivers nose to tail. Donnie Kite, 7th position after starting 19th. Him and Jose Ruiz getting ready to do battle.
Donnie Kite doing a good job.
Nathan Lehman, our lucky dog recipient 2 cautions ago. He's in the top 10 now. Zach Meredith, after having early contact with the wall, holding on to 10th. Josh Arnold, who we just seen spin and bring out the last caution, just outside the top 10.
Changed up position for Nick Hapiak, who just slides in front of Jamil Hawkins, but Hapiak in 4th place.
Now, a driver we don't really call the number of much here on JCTV anymore, mostly because it's a jinx anytime we talk about him, but Nick Hapiak finally cracking free of that 5th position. You know, we mentioned early on in the race, not a lot of mixing up in the top 5, with the top 5 being the same as when they started. Now, we've got all kinds of mix-up going on in the top 5.
Casey Wygent right back on the bumper of Jonathan Parker.
And Josh, a question we never talked about, who can make it to the end of this race? We had 2 quick cautions there and never really once thought about strategy. You know, Jonathan Parker, Pacey Wygent, Hunter Peach all stayed out. I believe Nick Hapiak also stayed out. Much of the top 10, I believe, stayed out. Maybe some of the back half pitted, but can they make it to the end from here? Do they need any fuel? Do they need any more tires? Gonna be interesting.
For Jonathan Parker, Pacey Wygent, Hunter Peach, from now till the end of the race, it's going to be 78 laps. Nick Hapiak actually did pit during that last caution. 18 laps is what he's on right now, and that actually might be the reason that he is faster than Peach, Wygent, and Parker. But even him, I don't think, has enough fuel left in the tank to make it to the end.
18 laps ago. And Nick Hapiak is sitting in what I would consider the best chance to make it on a strategy call. If there was anybody going to pull a strategy call here, he is the one, and he's in the best position for it. Running P4, honestly, I don't think he needs to pass these guys. He may be able to, but I don't think he needs to. I think he needs to go into conserve mode here and realize that he could take this race on a strategy.
So Hunter Peach just got around Pacey Wygent to put Peach in 2nd place. Nick Hapiak, you know, to go on your point here, I think for Hapiak, though he doesn't need to pass these guys, he wants to. Because if the caution were to come out, at this point, I think everybody would pit. Well, depending on how many laps they were. Okay, you know, if he sits here and say 20 laps from now, we get a caution. You know, I think he'd be at more of a disadvantage than if he goes up there, takes the race lead, and then a caution comes out again, say 20 laps from now, because then he's gonna be first.
We'll see how much pressure this 6 car keeps putting on. Right now, looking to the inside of the 00 Pacey Wygent. Not going to have the advantage as they come off, but going to be able to dip down to that dog leg and try to gain another advantage going into turns 1 and 2. Just not there yet.
Now for Nick Capiak, though I think he should get up there, I don't think he should have used his tires doing so. Just right now, take care of his tires, take care of his car. Let it come to him and pick off the positions when he can. Something else to note, though. Hunter Peach closing in. Race leader, Jonathan Parker.
Peach is catching the race leader, but you and I both know catching and passing is going to be two different stories here.
Cole Snyder battling with Donnie Kite, Jamil Hawkins. Kite actually got a good run through 1 and 2. Going to be side by side. Well, there's going to be contact! That was some netcode contact if I've ever seen any. And now Cole Snyder underneath the 2. That was, first of all, incredible that they saved it, but very interesting how that happened.
They were, as you said, it was netcode. They were a mile apart, and somehow they didn't wreck, even though netcode tried to get them to wreck. And in all of that, Donnie Kite didn't even lose a position.
So a couple things I've been watching. Capiak facing Wygant. Capiak, a little bit of a gap between himself and Wygant now, and Hunter Peach. Kind of steady between himself and Jonathan Parker. Either driver are really with an advantage. Go ahead, John.
I still got to say that this 6 car is, like I said, he doesn't need to go up and pass these guys. As you said, he probably wants to. I think now it's setting in of, I can make it to the end where these guys probably can't. And he's kind of just laying back here right behind Pacey Wygant, as right behind him, Donnie Kite has made the move, and he is now in the top 5. Jamil Hawkins going to try and cross back over, but Donnie Kite made the move, and I think Donnie Kite's going to clear off of turn 2 here and keep this position.
Indeed he will. P5 for Donnie Kite.
And as we've always talked about, that 2 car, last season to this season, new to iRacing, student of the game, proving it again here tonight. I mean, you got to give credit where credit's due. Donnie Kite started in the 19th position. He is up 14 positions right now.
He just, I wouldn't call him a closer, but he definitely comes up to the front towards the end of races. Still has yet to get that race win, but I'm telling you, I keep saying, I think it's going to be sooner rather than later.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe Donnie Kite was another one of those drivers who pitted with Nick Capiak under that last caution. So, I mean, if you're Nick Capiak, you got to look out the mirror here and realize that Donnie Kite's coming. And he's on a similar strategy as you. if you are in a position where you can save and make it to the end of the race, so is this 2 car. And if he catches you and passes you, it could be Donald Kite's night.
So you are
no
correct.
pun intended.
You are correct. And as you were talking about Donald Kite there, Happyak got back side by side with Pacey Wygen. Just couldn't get it done. And this is just going to help Kite even more. Trying to close the gap to Nick Happyak. It's there. I mean, he is right there.
It certainly makes everything interesting knowing that our top 3 most likely cannot make it to the end of the race. And knowing that the guys that are in 4th and 5th, and maybe even on back, have a shot to make it here. Strategy is going to be a big name of the game right now as we close in on the ending laps of this race. As right now we've got 36 to go.
I'm still not sold on even Happyak and Kite making it, but they've got a better chance, they've got a better opportunity than these other drivers.
And it's important to note that we've seen them go 65, 61, 62 laps on fuel. I think 65 was the furthest pushed by Jonathan Parker, and even Nathan Lehman. Nathan Lehman made it almost 70 laps without pitting. I mean, it is doable. You're just going to be right there on the edge, and you know that whole thing about auto fuel that I talked about earlier, that's going to play a factor in if you can make it. Did auto fuel allow them to fill these tanks all the way full? It should have, but with the new introduction it has into iRacing, it has also shown its inaccuracies with how much fuel to put in the car.
72 laps is what Nick Happyak and Donald Kite have to make it.
And you know, Phoenix, not really a fuel-saving type of track either, so it's going to be close. It's going to be close, and I don't see any of them saving right now, so I think your point remains the same here, Josh. They have the best chance, but it's going to be really, really close.
Jose Ruiz currently P6 trying to get himself into 5th. Ruiz is not on the same strategy as Kite and Happyak, but he's just about as fast as them, maybe a little bit faster.
Another one, you talk about Donald Kite being a closer. Ruiz, we have seen plenty of races where he's been the bridesmaid. And he's been faster at the end, but not enough time to close the gap. Ruiz is one to watch out for at the end of these races. Is right now actually 3rd, back to about 8th place. Is all kind of under a blanket here with Hunter Peach and Jonathan Barker just pulling away. I think Pacey Wygen might have burned his stuff up. He's kind of holding a lot of these guys up here. They're all forming a little pack back here from about 3rd back to, I'd say even now, back to 10th.
Yeah, and Zachary Meredith, Kyle Tubb, not that far behind either of 10th place running Josh Arnold, so really 3rd through 12th.
And it's all really based on the fact that Nick Happyak hasn't been able to get by this 00. But nobody's been able to pass each other either. They're not mixing it up. Nobody's spreading out. They're all just kind of running single file right along here, all running different lines, but nobody making a move on anybody right now. It seemed like a lap ago, Donald Kite peaked to the outside of Nick Hapiak, but not able to get a run. Same thing going pretty much for everybody else throughout the pack. They're peaking, but nobody able to get an advantage right now.
Donald Kite is right there on the back bumper of Nick Hapiak. Run a little bit of a higher line through 3 and 4, though.
Oh, Hapiak's in the wall. That's going to open a door for Donnie Kite to take a peek. Kite going to pull even with Hapiak off the corner. But Hapiak going to get the run off the top lane and try to chop the nose of the 2-car on entry.
Oh, Kite's going to get sideways. He saves it. But here comes Jose Ruiz on the outside of Donald Kite.
And kind of the position you want to be in if you're Jose Ruiz. You just seen Donald Kite get loose on the bottom with the car on his outside. See if you can force that mistake again. Donald Kite going to send it in deep. Maybe contact there with the 23. 23 moved up the track a little bit there. Donnie Kite not going to give up that position easily. Now that stacks up the field behind them. Jamil Hawkins, Cole Snyder, and Nathan Lehman with Josh Arnold all stacked up right here. Kyle Tubb going to take a look to the inside of the 22. No run there. The 22 going to take a peek down to that dog leg and see if he can get a run on Lehman. Oh, the 22 gets the outside wall.
There is so much racing going on right now, and I'm telling you, I love this. If I'm a driver in this, maybe not so much, but calling this race, this is good. Oh, there's going to be a spin down the kite into Nick Hapiak. Hapiak drifting it around the corner. Still no caution, still no spin. Now he goes around. Kyle Tubb, I believe that was, or maybe that was Nathan Lehman, finishes him off. Caution's going to be out. And now, there's no question, John. Everybody's going to pit here. Everybody's going to be able to make it to the end.
Yeah, going back and looking at the replay, that was the 16 of Tubb that finished off Hapiak. But going back, it was a battle between Kite and Hapiak. Kite takes a peek to the inside going into turns 1 and 2. I gotta say, it's two drivers going for the same piece of real estate. I think Kite thought Hapiak was going to go a little more to the wall. Both he and Hapiak went to the exact same spot on the track. And contact was made. Kite gathers it up. Great save for Kite. Not the same story for poor Nick Hapiak. And oh, an interesting strategy call here. I don't know if Hapiak missed pit road or what happened, but Hapiak stayed out.
And oh my gosh, the race off pit road was won by Jonathan Parker, but penalty.
He sped. Nick Hapiak does bring it down pit road this time by. So I'm going to say he missed pit road. Parker with a penalty. And it's going to be Peach, Kite, Wygant, then Ruiz, then Hawkins, and then Snyder.
I'm speechless. I'm a commentator. I'm supposed to have a lot of words, but I am speechless. Hunter Peach, who dominated this race, was passed by one of the best, Jonathan Parker, who just made a mistake on pit road. You got Donald Kite looking for his first win in the Di9 Designs NAOR series on iRacing. And then you got Pacey Wygant, who is really good on the short tracks, struggled a little bit to keep up with the guys up front. This is... What is this race?
I don't know, Josh, but all I can tell you is I think we're coming to the choose right here. And to put it bluntly, I'm going to need another adult beverage.
Well, Hunter Peach takes the inside as well as Donald Kite. Pacey Wygant is going to go from third to second, essentially. First on the outside row. Jose Ruiz, don't count him out. He is going to restart second on the outside of row 2. Cole Snyder inside of row 3. I have no words. Pace car is in, though. We're going to go green. 17 laps to go. Keep in mind, guys, no green-white checkers in the Di9 Designs NAOR series. These guys will end under caution if there is a caution within 5 to go. Inside the restart zone, though, it is green flag once again. Hunter Peach, he's got the advantage. He's going to be ahead of Pacey Wygant. Here comes Donald Kite to the inside of Pacey Wygant.
Donnie Kite hungry for that first win. He's going to try and pedal it off of turn 2. Pacey Wygant on the outside. Hunter Peach trying to run away from all of them. We've got a dogfight here coming up on 16 laps to go. Kite going to get a little tight on the inside of Wygant there. Kite going to get loose. Kite's going to go around. We've got Wrecking in the background. Jose Ruiz going to go around. The 17 of Meredith, the 22 of Arnold. Oh my goodness. And the second incident started with Ruiz and Lehman, it looks like.
And I have to say that is a reaction of seeing Donald Kite spin. Just look right here. Kite was on the apron. Lehman and Ruiz were side by side, and of course, if you're Ruiz, you think Lehman's going to go take the dog leg. If you're Lehman, you don't have to take the dog leg. And he probably saw that 2 car down there. Did not want to go down there, depending on what was happening.
Wow. Just like that. One late race caution has flipped this entire race pretty much on its head. I mean, the top 3 right now Same drivers we've seen run up front. You've got Jonathan Parker sitting back there in the 6th spot after a penalty. But really just flipped this race on its head.
I've been commentating races since 2020, July of 2020 actually. Of course, JCTV just celebrated his 3rd birthday 10 days ago on July 4th. I've commentated a lot of races. I've commentated a lot of crazy races. I've had some insane finishes, some races that, I mean, just have left me speechless. But this, I don't know what this is. This is everything as a driver you probably don't want to see. But as a broadcaster, as a fan of the sport of racing, motorsport, this is exciting. This is what you want to see. This is the kind of racing that just makes you sit on the edge of your seat, or maybe not even use your seat at all. And I mean, just watch these drivers do battle. Hunter Peach could take the inside. BC Wygen taking the outside. Jamil Hawkins inside. Cole Snyder outside. Nathan Lehman inside. Jonathan Parker will take the outside. That's the first 3 rows. 11 to go when we go back green.
And you talk about the first 3 rows, you can't discount some of the recoveries we've seen this race. Chase McGuire, Justin Quimby, we've seen them have their own incidents this race. Zach Meredith, after being involved in that most recent caution, is still in it. Donnie Kite's still in it. Jose Ruiz isn't out of it. Josh Arnold, I mean, sorry to say it, buddy, but all but out of it right now with that front clip missing. But don't count him out either. It's still a short track. We come to the restart zone. Pace cars on pit road. We are going to have a dash to the finish here at Phoenix. Green flag out. Hunter Peach hits a lot of pedal. Pacey Wygen gets a great restart on that outside lane. Peach tires into shifting there. There's contact. Where does Hawkins go?
Hawkins right now going to have to follow Hunter Peach. He's going to be side by side with Pacey Wygen, who gets into the wall. Wygen going to bounce into the wall again. He's going to lose a ton of spots.
He's going to tuck in behind Nathan Lehman. Here comes Jonathan Parker after that pit road speeding penalty. Cole Snyder up to 3rd right now. Your pick to win here, Josh.
Jamil Hawkins, P2 all over the back bumper of Hunter Peach. Peach, he has had the lead for most of this race. He just needs to stay calm here as Jamil Hawkins makes a mistake. That's going to open up the door for Cole Snyder potentially, as Cole Snyder's going to look to the inside of Jamil Hawkins. They're going to be side by side in turn 1.
Oh, Wygen's going to be way sideways out of the corner as Donnie Kite gets around him. Wygen is having a downfall here late in the race. Donnie Kite up to now the 6th position, looking for 5th on the outside of Lehman. He's going to make contact with Lehman. Lehman saves it. Parker's up to 4th. He's looking to try and go anywhere as now Snyder looks for that 2nd position. Snyder looks like he's got a hot rod here late.
Snyder keeps getting side by side with Jamil Hawkins, just cannot make the pass, but now he might need to really put the horses on as Jonathan Parker is right there looking underneath Cole Snyder, not quite there yet. Snyder going to have the advantage in 1 and 2. Run that high line. Parker bobbled just a little bit. I think Snyder did too, so they're going to be side by side barely, but Snyder drives it into the corner a little bit deep. Parker, a little bit of an issue. He misses the bottom. Here comes Donald Kite on the outside.
Donnie Kite going to try to make a move on the 92. I mean, Josh, what is this racing we are watching?
This is drivers desperate right now. 6 laps to go. Everybody wants it. And only one person can take it. And right now, that is Hunter Peach. But man, oh man, what a slide from Cole Snyder just ahead of Donnie Kite. Snyder trying everything he can to get beside and past Jamil Hawkins.
Donnie Kite actually doing something that I like to see right now. He is running the outside on every
around's gonna go
get
to
the bumper. Cole Snyder.
Snyder is going to save it from going completely around, but this is going to hurt a ton of positions in his momentum as he has lost all the way down to 9th place right now, and he is not happy.
Oh my goodness. Donnie Kite falls behind Nathan Lehman. Parker moves up to the 3rd spot. And now Jamil Hawkins going to take a peek on that dogleg, trying everything he can to get to Hunter Peach. The gap is 3/10. Here comes Parker. Big send into the corner.
These 3 drivers just about under a blanket. A second. Less than a second separates the 3 of them. Jamil Hawkins, P2. John Parker, P3. But the man they're chasing, Hunter Peach, just took 2 laps to go here at Phoenix Raceway.
An important note for everybody at home. Anything happens here. Next, caution ends the race. Next, flag ends the race. Anything happens. If we don't take the white, caution ends it. But looks like we're going to take the white here. Peach, we said it was his race to lose early on here. He takes that white flag. Dominant performance. And right now, I don't think anybody gets to him.
Spin in the back! Nathan Lehman, Donnie Kite are around. Those 2. Oh, more contact. Jose Ruiz involved. We go back up to the front. Hunter Peach, he just needs to make it through one more set of corners. And Jonathan Parker gets underneath Jamil Hawkins. They're going to have a crossover, but it is Hunter Peach going to take the win here at Phoenix Raceway.
Hunter Peach takes the win. Parker did hold off Hawkins on that crossover. And how about Zachary Meredith sneaking through all the madness? He's going to bring it home 4th. Nick Hapiak gets a top 5 after a late race incident. And what it could have been for Pacey Wygent bringing it home 6th. Justin Quimby, good recovery for that driver, bringing it home 7th. Cole Snyder, not very happy, coming home in the 8th position. Chase McGuire finishes 9th after his recovery of a run. And how about this? The driver of that 71, Mike Campbell, stuck it through. He gets a top 10 out of this. Mike Campbell was as bad as 2 laps down at one point in this race, and he brings it home in a top 10 position.
Hunter Peach burning them down right now. And I'll tell you, right now, the best tasting donuts are in Phoenix.
This is going to be one amped up driver that we're going to talk to here in a bit, Josh.
Parked it in victory lane. I hope Hunter knows or actually on the start finish line, I hope Hunter knows he can actually drive to victory lane on this track.
I don't think he knows, but I'm going to finish out our finishing order here. We've gone through our top 10. Kyle Tubb going to come up 1 spot short of a top 10 in 11th. Donnie Kite, we've seen him have that incident on the last lap. He'll bring it home 12th. Nathan Lehman, 13th. Jose Ruiz in the 14th position. Josh Arnold, after losing that front clip, ends up in the 15th position. First car 2 laps down is going to be Rodney Ayers in the 16th spot. Steven Brynock going to finish 2 laps down in the 17th spot. First non-finisher is going to be Jake Millsap in that 18th spot. Then Jimmy Mensch in the 19th spot. Michael Morgan, 20th. Noah Blackwell, 21st. And he was too good to show up. Dawson Allen technically gets credited with a 22nd finish.
Oh man,
What a race!
yeah, absolutely. I'm out of breath, and I wasn't even in the car.
And I'm glad I went to grab a second beverage. That made that finish quite enjoyable for me. Oh my gosh. I'm glad I grabbed a second beverage for the fact of my throat hurts right now.
Well,
Holy crap.
I'm telling you, I think as excited as we are to see a race like that, I don't think there is anyone more excited than us, than Hunter Peach himself, tonight's race winner. Hunter, you
Has ditched
are
us.
no longer here.
But you know what?
He
Hey.
was.
Hey, he might get credited with a 22nd place finish, but let's see if good old Dawson Allen has joined us here in the booth. Why don't we let him be our in victory lane
Oh man, I really
reporter?
want to talk to Hunter.
We can all talk to Hunter. How about that? But Dawson Allen is our victory lane guy tonight since he was too good to show up to the race.
Yeah, I heard that comment, John, and I had to show up. I had to say something. I just want to say what a finish that was. Congrats to Hunter Peach, and I will let you all do the interview.
Very well. And he's out of here before we can even say anything to him. Let's get Hunter Peach in here.
All right, Hunter, let's try this again. What a race!
I'm out of breath.
I'm out of breath too. I wasn't even the one in the car. Tell us, I mean, just the difference between the first half and the second half. First half, it was like you were on a Sunday cruise. The second half, you were driving through traffic and well, you're from Texas, so we'll go Dallas in rush hour. I mean, just what a race!
It's been a tough season. That's all I'm gonna say. I would say I think luck was finally on our side tonight. For sure. No, first half was I did not want that yellow. I knew I was managing the gap with Parker, and then that yellow came and I was like, man, the bad luck striking again. I'm like, give me a break. And I had a bunch, and it was like the worst time yellow, and I was like, I can't make it on fuel, and I was like, we're gonna lose this race because of this, and I was like, it's just been that much of a year of just so close, and then just the little things that pop up, but I stayed through with it, stayed focused, confident. And knew it was just praying for a yellow. I was like, just give me a yellow, give me a yellow. Cause I had no, I don't know, Justin, I had no rear grip. After Parker pulled away, I had no grip. But got that yellow, and I was like, thank God. And come down, put 4 tires. I think Parker sped. I'm not right if I'm for sure. And I mean, I got the lead. Tried the inside a bit. I think after the inside, I liked the inside a lot more, and I stuck with it and just, pulled away and just managed it, pulled it out.
Well,
I gotta chime in here. Hunter, are you aware that you have finally gotten me a JCTV pick in the JCTV picks to win? You finally did it, brother.
I didn't, after letting y'all down so much. Finally.
I can almost hear the emotion in your voice, and I gotta say, it was time, and you were due, and hell of a job, brother. Josh, you can bleep me out later. Hell of a job.
My arms are killed. That's all I'm gonna say.
well, Hunter, I think last question. Sponsor shout outs. Who gets it done for that number 20 machine?
Both. I just want to thank, Noah for making me this car. Beautiful. It was supposed to be run next week at Miami, but I think we're gonna stick with it. I think it has some good colors to it. Um, and just want to shout out 213 Simware. Finally got them in the Expedition after I said, it's Charlotte. I was letting y'all down on speed. Just we started off the first 3 races, top 3s, top 2s, and that 6 race streak, just ranking out before lap 20 of every race. And today finally had the fast car in practice. Felt we had the best long run car, and then obviously got the pole with a good lap, and just put the whole race together pretty much.
Well, congrats on the win. Go celebrate. I know you are.
Also wanted to I like to shout out Josh for everything he puts on in this league, and then y'all, everybody, Millsat Graphs that's on the car. My affiliated team, quote, what you want to say, people have their discussion in Discord. CC, CCR, they do a great job, and looking forward to race with them in a couple of leagues. Finally get that. Battling him. He had me on the edge of my seat. I knew it would come down to me and him. I had a feeling, just looking at the laps, and I was like, okay, our lap times are similar at the 50-lap average. I knew it would come down to it. And ironically, last time I was in this car, it came down to us too, and I won a late race restart with the damaged cars, and he finished second, so it's kind of ironic. But, I mean, Jamel Hawkins, shout out to him. He ran a phenomenal race. Donnie ran a phenomenal as well, until that incident. But just want to shout out them because they were up there running great.
All right, well, go celebrate. Go enjoy that race win, and we'll see you next time.
Hopefully we can go 2 for 2 at Homestead.
That was your race winner, Hunter Peach. I still don't know what to say, John.
Wish I had the words for you. And if I'm being honest, Josh, I am baffled by the race we've seen here tonight. I have so many words I could use for it, but you would need that bleep button that we keep saying we need for Jonathan Parker if I put it into words for you. It was a fantastic race to watch. Oh my goodness, I don't have words for it.
Well, I mean, I guess this race we saw 4 cautions. An incredibly clean race. 185 laps, 185 miles. These guys did, and kept it clean throughout the race. Just a great job by these guys. Put on a great show every week, and I'm so glad that we're the lucky ones to get to call this race. There's a ton of broadcasters out there, and we're the lucky ones to call this. Also, I mean, JCTV, we are actively recruiting for producers, commentators. Even if you don't know how to produce, we'll teach you. I taught Canfield how to produce, and Canfield, you picked up on it really quickly. So I just we are actively recruiting. If you're interested, can message me on Discord, Josh Coppernell, and I don't think there is any more numbers at the end of Discord things anymore, or you can message me on iRacing, literally Josh Coppernell there too. John, tomorrow night, you and I get to race at a short track. Martinsville Speedway in the Laser Sim Racing Infant's Truck Series. Dawson Allen will be on the call for that one. as well as Adam Kuhn. Jonathan Parker, I don't believe is going to be in the booth. I think he's going to be our in-race admin, eyes in the sky, for that one. Martinsville, it's going to be... I don't know how to say it, but it's going to be interesting. Let's see, other upcoming races. We've got the iRacing Funny 250 on Tuesday night for the Slide Job Racing League. And those are our next couple broadcasts. Of course, we return here next week, next Friday night. And I apologize for not having the race. Well, it's going to be Homestead, of course, as Hunter Peach said that multiple times. We are here next week at Homestead. Canfield, what races you look forward to coming up?
If I am being honest, I am a little saddened. I will be sitting sideline right now with Tuesday's race. I'm still hoping for kind of a miracle. If any of y'all have not seen, Josh, I don't know if you've seen it either. The lineup that is unofficial right now. I am currently outside looking in for the iRacing.Funny 250. Need quite a few drivers to have dropped out of the race for me to be able to race. It kind of is what it is. Work comes before racing, and I was not able to be home that night and race my way in. I'm looking forward to being able to watch it, though, and who knows? Maybe I'll join you in Dawson Tuesday night if it becomes official that I am not racing. Maybe I'll dust off the old cap over there in Slide Job and see about putting on a headset for once. It's been a while since I've, for one, even broadcasted a Slide Job Racing League race and had to be on the call. But I think it could make for an interesting race. I'm not looking forward to tomorrow night. I won't lie. I have seen and called the races that have happened at short tracks with in the Pit News Truck Series. I'm a little scared. Not saying I don't like Martinsville. I love Martinsville. I especially love it in a truck. But it can certainly get chaotic tomorrow. And I think I'm going to need a couple more alcoholic drinks than what I'm having tonight for the end of that race tomorrow. But we will see. I think the most I'm looking forward to is Homestead next week with Di9 NAOR series. After seeing them run such a clean race here, we already know how they can run on mile and a halves. We've seen them go green checkered on mile and a halves and on bigger racetracks. Heck, we've even seen them go green checkered on Talladega almost. So I am looking absolutely forward to next week with Homestead. Great track to go to. Great car track combo to have with this Gen 6 car. I think it's going to provide a lot of good racing. We're going to see guys running up by the wall, guys running down in the bottom lane. I don't even have a prediction of who's going to run good there, but I can tell you there's always going to be a battle between Hasey Wygant and Jonathan Parker. I see a glimpse of what we seen last year with in the Pit News between him and Kruger in what we have going on now with him and Pacey.
Just 6 races remain in the season for the Di9 Designs NAOR series. Only 2 races remain before the tournament starts to determine the champion. Those 2 races are both mile and a half. Of course, you mentioned Homestead, and then Kansas will be the following week on July 28th before we head on our last bye week of the season, August 4th, and then the tournament starts. The Fab 14 at Auto Club, the Elite 8 at Richmond, Final 4 at Iowa, and the title race between the last 2 remaining drivers at Las Vegas. What a race we saw tonight. And I'm telling you, if you enjoy this kind of racing, tune in Friday nights, 8:45 p.m. Eastern Time. You're going to love what you see. I'm Josh Copernell, signing off with Jonathan Canfield, of course, joining beside me. And we both thank you for watching. Thanks, everybody, for helping us put this on. Everybody, have a great night, and we will see you next time.